one. So this is the opportunity for the people who think the font is too small at the back to shout the font is too small at the back. But actually no, it's too small. And anyway, I want it to come out on the video. So here's a typical online problem involving aspects of disjunctive normal form. So let's have a look at it. Oh, I've been so we're being asked to fool around with square brackets and De Morgan laws and double negation and elimination to get this formula into disjunctive normal form. And perhaps for some of you, even reading the formula is a nuisance, seeing what's going on. So before we actually do this one on the computer, let's switch back to the document camera and unpack this formula. So here's your formula. You see a horizontal line of text. But when I see this horizontal line of text, I mean this is online, but it'll be on the video, so don't feel a sudden urge to write it down unless you're keen. I don't see just a horizontal line of text because there's an extra piece of processing in between my eyeballs and my brain that lets me see what's actually going on with this formula. And if you don't have that extra bit of processing in your brain yet, don't worry, it's my job to edit your brains and you'll get there. Right, so I see this as a tree structure describing a formula. So you can see this whole formula is not of something. So that means we've got not at the top of the tree. So that's this not here. Okay, and then what is getting knotted? Well, this and is getting knotted. So we've got an and here. An and has two subformulae. Okay. So what's the left subformula of the and? It's this or. And let's keep going. Or has two subformulae. What's the left subformula of the or? What is this or acting on?
X and not Y.
X and not Y. So we've got an X here, put that in a box because we've reached the leaves. And we've got a not, which is in turn.
Move up.
Yeah, I bet. Can I zoom out a bit? Yeah. Zoom out. Okay. And then on the other side, we've got another or. It has two subformulae. The left subformula is a Y. And the right subformula is a not acting on an X. Okay? So I'm almost seeing a kind of circuit diagram appearing before my eyes. I'm seeing the structure of the formula when I read the text of the formula. And you can see I have to be careful about the rules of, so the things that you learn in school as BODMAS that tell you how additions and multiplications group properly. What they're really teaching you to do is to organize a formula as a tree like this. So you need to learn to read a formula or a program or anything and see the tree that lives inside it. It's something you get used to doing, and it's something that people like me who've been doing it for so long forget sometimes that that just isn't there when you're starting. I mean, I've been programming computers since I was 6. I can't actually remember not being able to do it. So it's sometimes I have to check myself and realize that that's a bit freaky. So it goes. Okay, so let's now have a look at the De Morgan laws. I'm glad somebody gave me a piece of paper. Here are the De Morgan laws expressed, we'll do one at a time, in terms of trees. So one of them says, so this law says, if you've got a not acting on an and then 2 other subtrees, whatever they happen to be, hanging off the and, you can rearrange that to a tree which is an or that has 2 nots hanging off it. And that's because if you have 2 things that are not both true, that means at least one of them is false. Yeah? In your lucky testable world. You might not know which is, it might not be obvious which is false, but at least in a testable world you can find that out by testing. So it's reasonable to say when they're not both true, at least one is false. Okay, so how do we make use of a De Morgan law like that? Well, we go back to our formula and we go hunting for something that matches this diagram. What might it be? Ding! So we figured out that A must be the left subformula and the B must be the right subformula. We found the subtree which matches the left-hand side of the law, and that means we figured out then in that circumstance what these A and B things must be, and then we can perform the rewriting to turn it into the right-hand side of the law. And then the other law for De Morgan works the same way, only this time it's what happens when you have a not governing an or, so you're saying neither of these things is true. That's the same thing as saying they are both false, so you can have an and governing 2 nots instead. Okay? So that's the idea. You see the formula as a tree and you're looking for a subformula that matches the pattern given by the law. So let's see how that turns into activity when we try and do it in an online exercise. In your own time. Okay, well actually, let's start with just the formula unboxed. Right, so we start with the expression we're given. We type that in. I think I've got enough network to press send. Good. And then we look for a place where we can apply a De Morgan law. Can you see a place where we can apply a De Morgan law? Yeah? At the very top level, that's what we just did, where the law matched the top layer of the tree. So what I do is I copy the text and I paste it in underneath, only I put a set of square brackets around the place where I can apply the law. So you should expect that the thing inside of the square brackets is, well, in this case, it's not of and of stuff. Yeah? So that's, we call focusing on the particular subformula. Actually, here it's the whole formula as it happens. And then what we do is we write down, we copy the formula again, and we edit what's inside the square bracket so that it represents the other side of the law. So what happens? We knot both pieces, being careful to balance the brackets up, and we change the and to an or. Hit send. Yep, and it will tell you, yes, I'm happy so far. Okay. Ready to go again. Can we see any other opportunities to apply a De Morgan law? We've got, in fact, 2 opportunities to apply De Morgan laws, because we've got a not of an or on the left and a not of an or on the right. So the first thing we do is we pick one. I don't care which you pick first, left or right.
Right.
Let's go right. It happens to us all eventually. Move the focus to the one on the right. So remember, well, the rules are, for each line, you may either move the focus or apply a law, but not both. So we have to move the focus in one step, and then apply the law in the next step. I wouldn't ask you to do this if you didn't have copy and paste. So copy, paste, and now we can apply the law, right? The nots move inside, and the or turns to an and. Good stuff. Now let's do the other one, which means I have to copy, paste, and all I'm allowed to do here is move the focus. Okay, and now that I've moved the focus, I can do the other one. So the knots move inside, and the or turns to an and. Okay, and the other rule we're allowed to use in this little game is double negation elimination. That's to say, if something's not true, it's just true. Again, the Scottish legal system would beg to differ, but for things which are easily testable, we can get away with it. Have you ever noticed that when a politician tries to convince you that something is safe, they will tell you that there's no evidence that it's dangerous? What would be more convincing would be evidence that it's not dangerous. And I hope you just won't notice the difference between those two concepts.
Evidence that it's
in fact, they're very good at ensuring that no evidence of risk emerges, right? They're quite good at ensuring that there's no risk of evidence. That's one to watch. That's just a standard way politicians lie. Okay, moving on. We've seen I just focused on this opportunity for double negation elimination, and I'll take the 2 knots away. And then I can move to the other one. Be careful, put the new focus in, take the old focus out. And then it's happy. Everyone see what's going on? If not, well, you can watch it again more slowly. But what we did was, at each step, we did things one little bit at a time. First move the focus, then apply a law, then move the focus, then apply a law, until there are no more opportunities to apply any further simplifications. Is everyone all right with that? Good. I expect everyone to
Why
get...
have you left the text in a square bracket?
I'm just being untidy. I'm perfectly well allowed if I want to do one more line. I hit send and it will still be happy. Just to say, oh, well, tidy up now. That's perfectly all right. Okay, so that's the thing. Just remember that what you're doing is transforming trees. That's the trouble with this lecture room. Desk is small, can't see what I'm doing.